Okay, that football chick back again. I know that Sunday is the big game, and it's as we all know, it's the Bengals versus the Rams here in Los Angeles. Um, SoFi Stadium. It's going to be a really huge game. And this is for all the ladies out there who are wondering what it is football is. Um, so we're going to do football 101, the basics. First of all, you got the Bengals that are coming into the Super Bowl for the first time in almost 30 years. That's like Dallas Cowboy status. It's really sad. But nonetheless, they made it there before we did, so it's okay. Don't feel too bad for them. Their quarterback, which, is the guy that throws the ball and everything, he pretty much makes all the plays. He's the one that's got like that thing on his arm where he's looking at plays and always talking to the coach in his ear set. And he's the one that tells everybody in the huddle like what they should do, what the next play should be, or whatever. Kind of like the playmaker. Anyways, so shout out Michael Irvin. Anyways, whenever I can get a Cowboy shout out, I'm gonna do a Dallas Cowboy shout out. But okay, so on the Bengals side, you have Joe Burrow, who is a rookie. If he wins this, he will have a title. He will break a record of winning the Heisman, which is college football, a National Football Conference in college, and then a Super Bowl in less than 3 years. I don't think actually nobody's ever done that. So he is actually from Ohio, I believe. So he's like their beloved son. And like I said, his first year was like last year. He's a total like rookie and turned the Bengals around. I mean, when's the last time you heard from the Bengals? I don't know. Anyway, so then you got the Rams, okay? You have the Rams. I don't even know how they turned it around in like 6 years. Like one day Los Angeles had no teams. The next day they had like 3 teams. So the Chargers and the Raiders and then the Rams. And like, they didn't even have a stadium. And I thought they were going to have like growing pains. Like 2 years later, they're like in the Super Bowl. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Where's our Cowboys? Anyways, I digress. So you've got the Rams coming in with Stafford. Matthew Stafford's really good. He actually just came from the Detroit Lions. If you've ever heard of the Detroit Lions. Yeah, nobody has. It's been a really long time. So he suffered over there for a really long time as their quarterback. Now he's the quarterback of the Rams. Turn that whole ball game around. No pun intended. And he's headed into the Super Bowl in less than 48 hours. So good on him. Good on Ohio's little boy. I'd say little boy. There's so many memes out there that say he looks like Macaulay Culkin. It's actually kind of true. He really kind of does. But I'll go with Joe Cool. Joe Football. There was a Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel. We all know what happened there. But anyways, I digress. So those are your 2 quarterbacks going in. You've got the Bengals over here. And you've got the Rams over here. Stafford. And you've got, oh my gosh, I just had a brain fart. Joe Burrow. Not Joe Cool. So, I don't know if you can see that, and my handwriting is really bad. Stafford, Rams, Joe Burrow. Okay, so here we go. In the game of football, there are 4 quarters. 4 quarters. Each one consisting of 15 minutes. Okay, I know it seems like it should be done in like an hour or whatever. It's never done in an hour. That's because, interceptions, calls, fumbles, whatever, playbacks, whatever. You got to call New York. I don't know. You have referees fighting, people fighting on the bench. They're fighting their own teammates. I don't know. So there's all this stuff that you have to put into play. It's not just like running back and forth down the field for 15 minutes. Okay, so each quarter's 15 minutes. Then you put in all that in between, and that's usually going to make up about a 3 hour game, right? 2.5, 3 hours if it's good. Defense is good. They keep them at each other's throats, whatever. So 4 quarters. All right, 4 quarters. Did I spell quarters right? 15 minutes each. Okay, each team gets 3 timeouts. 3 timeouts. Okay, like I said, there's a whole lot going on in football. Whoever usually is hosting, and this is an odd one because the Rams are actually the visiting team because they share a stadium. Like I said before, the Chargers, the Raiders are now in Las Vegas. They don't share with us anymore. I say us. So the Rams and Chargers, and it's actually, they're the visiting team. So they get to do the coin toss. They get to call heads or tails. That's who is this deciding factor of who will get the ball first. Okay? Coin toss. Usually, statistically, I think it's heads, but I don't really know. So, anyways, that's who's going to get the ball. You see those guys head up in formation. You usually see the head coach on the sideline, the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. You got all of these people that come into play. That are in each other's ear. Usually they're covering each other's mouth with something that means they're talking to, the quarterback or whomever, the other people coordinating what the next play should be, what formation they should join in. Now there's all kinds of different formations, okay? We're not going to, sit down and dissect Bill Belichick style and in a dark room and try to dissect every single play. We don't have time for that, okay? We just need to know 4 quarters starting out. Each one's 15 minutes. Each quarter, each half, okay, you have 2 halves. So 15, and then a half, which consists of about 15 minutes. So that gives Mary J. Blige, Eminem, Kendall Lamar, and Kendrick Lamar, sorry, and Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, who should be there. Less than 15 minutes to do their thing. So, and it's going to be a really good one. So, West Coast OG style, except for Ice Cube's not there. I don't know about that. Maybe he'll show up. I don't know. He was just at NASCAR last week, so I don't know what's going on with that one. And don't forget, Snoop's going to be there. So, anyways, this is not going to be a lot of mask on. There will be a lot of inhaling. Anyways, sounds like a fun time. I won't be there. I will go if my Cowboys will be there. And I don't know when that will be. But that's okay. So, we got to that part, okay? Those are the basics. You've got stuff that are going to jam up the game. When you see someone grab someone's helmet, that's a face mask penalty. You're usually going to see a referee go offensive, 15-yard penalty, depending on where they're at. First down. We'll get into first downs, second downs, third down, fourth down, just in a second. Whatever. So stuff like that, penalties, face mask, pass interference, that's a little touchy because pass interference is, basically if you're getting in the way of the ball. If a fumble has to be you have to have full control of the ball. Otherwise, if it touches the ground before you do, that's obviously a fumble. An interception is when the other team comes in out of nowhere and kind of when you're in LA traffic or whatever, and you got all your blinkers on and all your ducks in a row and all your players out there and all you're in formation. You got all your blinkers, mirrors straight, whatever. Okay, all of a sudden someone just comes in and sideswipes you. Okay, that's an interception. You don't even know where that came from. It's Okay, Ezekiel Elliott, where did he just come from? I really don't know. He just came in. So, or Micah Parsons. Happy Micah Parsons, Defensive Rookie Player of the Year. It's another shout out to Dallas Cowboys. All right. So anyway, so you got something like that. All these are factors of why it goes longer than 15 minutes. And hence why you have more time to chit chat at the little hottie over, getting a cocktail, whatever you do, whatever kind of parties you have. I don't know if you're doing the cake stands or if you're doing like the she parties. I don't know. I live in Los Angeles, so, but I've also grew up in Dallas. So there's those cake stand parties too. You could have ice sculptures with the shot coming down, and you can do that kind of party, or you can have like hors d'oeuvres, or you can have like, I don't know, really just family and they just all get obnoxious. I don't know. It usually is obnoxious. Especially if your team is playing. And especially if there's a team that hasn't seen a playoff conference win in almost 30 years. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in that goes into that. Now, the Rams have been there a few times. I don't know how they pulled it together like that. I thought they were going to have growing pains. Maybe was hoping for it because, Dallas Cowboys, what happened? Anyways, so, okay, they're back again. Coincidence? Some people say the NFL is rigged. Could it be? Our first year we have a stadium, the very first year. The Rams go back. How did they do that? Their quarterback, is just swapped out. Goff's over here now. What, Detroit Lions again? I don't know. All kinds of weird. So that happens in football. You're always like, and then we'll get into the worst you do in the draft later. That's a whole different subject. We just want to focus on what goes on at the Super Bowl and what you're supposed to expect. So when you're watching the game, you'll know when your guy is getting you a cocktail or your crush or whatever, your bae, who getting you some guacamole and chips or what, refilling, your another martini, if that's how you get down. You're going to need to know because like these guys are going to be like talking some smack, okay? They're gonna be going off and going on and like he should have did this and that, whatever, and the holding and like whatever. That was the wrong call. And the referees are always going with the wrong call. So whenever you hear a wrong call, be like, oh yeah, that was a wrong call. You should know the calls, but they're usually wrong, especially against the Dallas Cowboys. But anyways, never against Green Bay Packers, but Aaron Rodgers is not even in the Super Bowl, so that's okay. Actually, that's a win. So, we've got 4 quarters, 15, halftime. You know who's playing at the halftime. You got that down pat. What else can I give you as far as, okay, yeah, let's go with the downs. So when someone has possession of the ball, okay, you have 4 downs. 4, I need like a marker or something. Like a thing. You have 4 downs, okay? That means you have 4 chances to huddle up and get information and get the ball and reach 10 yards. 10 yards in order to get a first down. Okay, does that make sense? So let's say, for instance, you got a first down and the Bengals have a first down, okay? So they're heading down. Burrow's going to throw it to, what's dude's name that just, I don't know, bless some Bengals. I wasn't watching this season. You came out of nowhere, really. Okay, so he throws it to his wide receiver, whoever's open, whatever. They got their own formation going. They know what's going on. So he's looking out, whatever. Okay, so the guy catches it, but it's just short 2 yards. Okay, so he's at 2nd and 8. So this is his second time to have possession of the ball, and he has 2nd and 8, 2nd and 2. He has 2 yards to go to get to the first down. See, when you want to keep getting first downs, you want to keep getting that 10 yards because you keep getting more downs. And the more downs you get, the further down the football field you get. You know where those big things are? You kick the ball through the thing and you like run over the line. That's called a touchdown. Okay. Then the next thing is the extra point, or you can go for a 2-point conversion, whichever. Okay. So depending on what the clock is and your time management, and that's a whole different, like, I'm all for being risky and taking like 2-pointers, but not all the time. That's a good idea. Especially if you're betting on things. I don't know. Different thing. So anyways, so back to that. I'm all over the place. So, okay. So he's 2 yards short. He's on a second down. He fumbled. Let's not fumble. He doesn't fumble. He gets sacked. Okay. When somebody gets sacked and it's the quarterback. They have a risky, position because, and that's why quarterbacks usually don't last that long in the NFL. That's why, Tom Brady is ancient, not old, ancient when it comes to playing in the NFL, because you get hit. You're the one that gets hit so many times. You take so many hits. It's called a sack. Okay, say he gets sacked. Okay, so then he goes down to what? What are we on now? Third down. We're on a third down. Remember, you only get 4 downs. Okay, we're losing yardage here. The Bengals are losing yardage. Okay. Even if he went back a couple yards, he might have lost yardage. So then that goes into, we're going to go into, we might do a timeout. Doubtful. Okay. Depending on what quarter it is. Okay. So, there's crucial times and there's not so crucial times. Okay. So then we're going to go to a 4th down. Now, when you go into a 4th down, you have to take into account how far down the field you are. Now, thank God for technology these days, because there is a marker on the field that will let you know when that team is in field goal range. Now, a risky one is like 60, 65 yards, okay? Those guys usually played soccer in like high school or whatever, those kickers. We just fired ours, thank God. Okay, but that's their main job, is to kick it through the goalpost, right? So if you're in that line, if you're in field goal range, you on a 4th down should go ahead, even sometimes on a 3rd down, depending. Again, time crunch, what's the score, whatever. Okay, there's a lot of factors, but you go ahead and kick the field goal. That's what you do. You take the 3 points, you get yourself on the board, you kick the field goal. Okay? That's what happens. And then you got some points. That way you don't turn it over. That's what a turnover is. Because if you go ahead and take that 4th down and you get sacked again, or the ball's intercepted, or it's fumbled, or you just lose yardage on it, something like that happens, it's called a turnover. Turnovers are just as bad as interceptions. I mean, in all sense of reality, they really kind of are. Because you lose the ball, you turn it over to them, and then depending on where you're at on the field is where they get the damn ball. So what if they're like all the way down at their side, at their end of the field? You see what I'm saying? It's really kind of complex, but I'm trying to simplify it for you as much as I possibly can. Okay. That's why it takes a long time. Okay, maybe we should take a break. We'll regroup, we'll come back, and we'll do a review on this. Again, this is just the simple basics of a football game. Not a college game. Obviously, it's the Super Bowl. College has very different rules. This is the National Football League. So, we got the NFC East, the NFC West, AFC. Okay, so you get it. That doesn't matter right now. All you need to know is the Bengals, it's the Rams. Bengals haven't been there in like 30 years. The Rams are playing at home, but they're considered visitors. They might win. I don't know. I could see Joe Cool coming out, pulling out, and he might win by what I said, one field goal, because that's all it takes. I'm hoping for a really good game. This has been from That Football Chick, just a little bit of the basics. Now, I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. This is how I know just a little bit. And just so going into your parties, your gatherings, your get-togethers, your woo-wahs, whatever soirees that you're going to, you might even be going to the game. If you go into the game, you really need to know what you're talking about just a little bit. So pay attention. Just don't stay at the bar too long. You're missing the whole thing. Okay, so because it is fun to watch. Football's fun. It really is. It's America's team, America's sport. We're America's team, okay? But it's America's sport. And it's a whole lot of fun if you really understand it. So I hope you enjoyed just kind of like this basic overall, synopsis. And I can get more detailed into it. And I hope that you get to enjoy the show, not just the halftime show, but the whole entire show. All right. Bye, guys.